a person who's so special to this world, but certainly here in Detroit, we love her so much. And Aretha and her family have always been steadfast in their faith. Of course, as you know, Aretha Franklin's own father was a minister, a reverend. And church members are all over expressing their love and concern. Let's get right to Fox 2's Josh Landon. He continues our coverage at New Bethel in Detroit. And Josh, that church is extremely special to anyone who knows the Franklin family.
Hey, Rube, good morning to you, and you're exactly right, Rube. We're standing outside of New Bethel Baptist Church on the city's west side, here in the Linwood community, right at the intersection of Linwood and Philadelphia. And as you mentioned, I mean, this church is basically a second home to Aretha Franklin. Her father moved her here from Memphis, Tennessee back in the 1960s, and this is the church where she began her singing career early on in her life. She's been here ever since, a faithful member here, financial contributions, always performing here, any and everything she could do for this church. That's what she has been doing for the past few decades, going back more than 50 years, if you will. I spoke to Pastor Robert Smith Jr. a short time ago, maybe about 20 minutes ago, and he spoke about the last time he spoke with the Queen of Soul.
She has checked in with us from time to time, but it's been a little while now. The last time she checked in with us, she was planning a concert for this month. And that must have been 8 weeks ago or so. And not having heard anything else about that, I knew she had to be really, really suffering, feeling too bad to even think about it.
So she was actually planning to come here and appear and make it for a concert?
Every August, in the name of her father. You know, she loved her father.
And her father, Clarence Franklin, who moved Aretha Franklin here back in the 1960s from Memphis, Tennessee. Again, she began her career here singing at the church, and she was planning to have a concert here sometime this month, but as we know, she's gravely ill, so her condition probably goes back a few months. Also, the Pastor Robert Smith Jr. told me that she has played a big part in keeping this church doors open because the Linwood community has suffered quite a bit over the past decade or so, going back to 2003 with a lot of homes being torn down. It's been Aretha, her energy, her financial contributions that has helped keep this church open. They're planning to have a prayer vigil this Wednesday, possibly Wednesday morning, and they're also working on a memoir of her and her father, Clarence Franklin, here at the church, trying to get some renderings together, so we'll have to keep you posted on that. But thoughts and prayers for Aretha Franklin continue here at New Bethel Baptist Church on the city's west side. Roop, back to you.
Yeah, Josh, you would ask the question if those walls could talk, but they already have, and they've sang a million notes with Aretha Franklin's voice in those doors. The energy in that place has to be incredible. Aretha, that was the first place she ever did a solo performance in her whole life, was in those doors. Literally growing up there, it has to feel, you got to feel that energy when you're in that church.
Absolutely, Roop. When we got here about a half hour ago, we walked inside, we went into the back room. You see pictures of her and her father from back in the day, if you will, back in the 1960s, her and her father singing in the church, standing by each other. You just felt that energy inside of the church the moment you walked in. Definitely a second home to Aretha Franklin.
Certainly a place that all of us will be spending a lot of time looking at and including the history of this wonderful woman. Josh Landon for us live. Thank you.